So on this wall here, we use this to show our shelter coating or slurry coating technique. And this came about because we did a job on a church on an island out at sea, and we lime washed the stonework, and within a few months it started pitting and coming away from the stone. And that's because the lime wash just wasn't robust enough, and the suction in the dense stone wasn't enough to hold the lime wash on. So it didn't take long for it to wash off. So then we decided to make a mix that was not lime putty but hydraulic lime, so that it would be a little bit harder, a little bit more robust, but also we mixed sand into the hydraulic lime. So we mixed some fine sand, 2 parts, some hydraulic lime, 1 part, and we mixed it up, and then we let it sit for a few weeks. And in here, underneath the water, we've got this sort of sludge, this slurry. And you can see in there, well, you maybe can't see it, but I can feel the grit of the sand and the cream of the lime. So I'm going to drill this up. This will go this colour in the end, so lime washes always look a lot darker when they're wet. So I'm just going to give this a quick drill. So lime washes, they are just particles of lime suspended in water, and obviously they sink down, so every maybe 5 minutes you need to drill again to get the particles up against the surface, and the sand in there obviously is sinking down too. But you can see the consistency, it's a watery single cream, it's relatively thick. So I need to now put it on the wall here, but the wall is just too dry, so I need to, first of all, like all the processes we've gone through today, I need to control that suction. So I'll give it a quick spray. You can see how robust it is. It's not coming away with the hose pipe, and this was put on a training day 2 weeks ago. If that was lime wash onto this stone, it probably would not cope with that jet of water. Often we do a shelter coat first, or a slurry coat first, and then we will lime wash over the top of it afterwards. So again, we just let that sink in a little bit. And rather than using a soft lime washing brush, a masonry brush or a large sort of soft hair brush, and if I was lime washing, I'd be painting in thin coats. Rather than doing that, I'm just going to use a churn brush. And rather than necessarily painting it on with the churn brush like this, which is perfectly fine, nothing wrong with that, and it works very well. You can also be a bit quicker but a bit messier, and you can throw it on. And this, I am convinced, is the technique that was used by our ancestors. It is super quick. We're putting on a fair amount of material there. So with lime washes, maybe you're putting on very thin coats, whereas with this material you're really putting it on quite thickly, and then I'm brushing it into the stonework. I'm making sure that I'm really physically forcing it in there over the whole process. Like I say, this is a messy job, but one that we found to work extremely well, extremely effective, extremely quick, extremely economic. It's a very, very cheap material, and it goes onto this stone really very easily. In this case now, I would leave that until it went hard, until it had gone white. So I wouldn't try and kind of work it in the next day, because then you'd just be taking it off. Wait for it to go off, and then maybe give it a couple of days to harden. And after that then, if you want to, you can lime wash over it with a ready mixed coloured lime wash, or you can just carry on doing the same. If you don't like these brush marks, then just then maybe go over it with a softer brush at the end, so you lose some of those brush marks. So there you go, what some people call shelter coating, some people call slurry coat, over any old original lime putty, plaster and mortars. It's a very simple technique.